KA Bullets YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
This racer is Landon Carsill, and he'll be racing part-time in the 2010 Piston Cup season. I forgot to mention this in the 2010 Florida 500 video. And starting at pole position is Kurt Buschtire, and to his outside is the current champion, Lightning McQueen. Row 2 has Jamie McCurry and Casey Corner. I wonder if they'll do something. Row 3 has the Jeff and Jeff show, Jeff Burnton and Jeff Gorvette. Jeff Burnton jumps over cars, and Jeff Gorvette has won 2 Piston Cups. Row 4 has Denny Carlin and the Rocket Ryan Newcar to his outside. Row 5 has David Rudicar and Juan Pablo Montoya. Don't these 2 cars normally start further back in the field? Row 6 has Martin Karks Jr. and David Raycar. What's he doing up here? Row 7 has Bobby Swift and Joey Laguirno. Please don't wreck any other cars. Row 8 has Kyle Buschtire, the mean yellow car, and Greg People to his outside. Row 9 has Tony Gasworth and Brick Yardley, the 2008 Florida 500 winner. Row 10 has Carl Edwards and Cal Weathers, the 2008 Piston Cup champion. Row 11 has Mark Carton and Jimmy Cables. Jimmy Cables is doing quite well this season. Row 12 has Ricard Smith in his first start this season and Mike Yankee Jr. to his outside. Row 13 is Clint Bokar and Brick Hicks, who is not having a good season this season so far. Row 14 is Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Todd Marcus, who needs to kick the habit of skipping qualifying. Row 15 has Murray Clutchburn and Ernie Gearson, 2 Piston Cup racers that have been around for quite a while. Row 16 is last week's winner Kevin Carvick and Casey Gears, making his first start since the 2009 Piston Cup season. Row 17 has Brad Keselowski and Phil Tankson, who has fallen quite a bit in points since earlier in the season. Row 18 is Reb Meeker, who will hopefully not crash this race, and Jack DePost to his outside. Row 19 is Joe Brakechek and Chip Gearings, who has somehow qualified for the previous 14 races and this one, somehow. Row 20 is Matt Korzith, the 2003 Piston Cup champion, and T.G. Castlenut to his outside. Row 21 has Landon Carsill making his first ever Piston Cup start, and Rex Revler to his outside. And starting in 43rd is J.J. Traley making his first start since the 2009 Piston Cup season. And these 5 cars, among many others, failed to qualify for this race. Now let's get on to the race. Kurt Buschtire would lead for the first 19 laps of the race before he'd lose the lead to Chip Gearings, and he would lead until lap 20, but he's now out on lap 20 because of an engine failure. Lightning McQueen would take the lead after the restart and lead until lap 22, where Kurt Buschtire would retake the lead, leading all the way until lap 48. On lap 48, Bobby Swift would take the lead from him and lead for just 1 lap before Kurt Buschtire would be back in the lead, leading for another 2 laps before Kyle Buschtire, his younger brother, would be 25th as of lap 51, where he wrecks Rex Revler, Ernie Gearson, Landon Carsill, and J.J. Traley. Why? And then Denny Carlin would take the lead after the restart and lead all the way until lap 91, where Kurt Buschtire would once again be back in the lead. He'd lead for 4 more laps before Lightning McQueen would retake the lead, leading until lap 105, where Reb Meeker would accidentally wreck himself and Joe Brakechek on lap 105, unfortunately. Kurt Buschtire would take the lead after the restart and lead until lap 113, where Denny Carlin would once again retake the lead, leading all the way until lap 140. But Cal Weathers would take the lead from him and lead for 4 laps, but then Denny Carlin would be back in the lead, leading all the way until lap 176. And Casey Gears would be out on lap 149 because of an engine failure. Casey Corner would take the lead on lap 176 and lead for 3 laps before he'd lose the lead to... he doesn't lose the lead yet, but Murray Clutchburn... But Kyle Busch Tire would fail to wreck Murray Clutchburn on lap 179. The car that actually takes the lead from Casey Corner is Denny Carlin, and he would lead for 30 laps before Lightning McQueen would once again retake the lead, leading all the way until lap 241, where Kyle Busch Tire this time would actually take the lead and lead until lap 246, where Tony Gasworth would take the lead from him, leading for 9 laps before Lightning McQueen would once again retake the lead, leading until lap 270. But then Kurt Busch Tire would be back in the lead, leading until lap 273, where Joey Logierno would be 22nd as of that lap, where he wrecks Brick Hicks. Why? And Denny Carlin would take the lead after the restart and then lead for 12 laps before Lightning McQueen would once again retake the lead, leading until lap 293. But that David Raycar would be out on lap 293 because of an engine failure. Brick Yardley would take the lead on lap 293 and lead for the next 10 laps before Kurt Busch Tire would retake the lead, leading until lap 308. But then Jeff Gorvette would take the lead from himself, leading all the way until lap 314, where of course Lightning McQueen retakes the lead, leading until lap 327. But then Denny Carlin would once again be back in the lead, leading until lap 364. And who will lead next? Actually, it's Bobby Swift, and he'll take the lead and lead all the way until lap 379. But then Denny Carlin would retake the lead on lap 379 and lead the final 21 laps to win the 2010 Michigan 400. Casey Corner would finish second this race. Kurt Busch Tire finished third. Bobby Swift fourth, and surprisingly, Todd Marcus would finish fifth, rounding out the top 5. And here's the race results. And finishing 6th is Jeff Gorvette, followed by Tony Gasworth and Lightning McQueen, the current points leader, finishing 8th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 9th, and the jumper, Jeff Burnton, would finish 10th. Surprisingly ahead of Cal Weathers. Greg People would finish 12th, and Joey Logierno, who wrecks other cars, would finish 13th. Jimmy Cables would finish 14th. Carl Edwards 15th. Murray Clutchburn 16th. Juan Pablo Montoya 17th. Matt Karseth 18th. Mark Carton 19th. And another Martin. Well, he's Martin. Mark Carton is Carton. But Martin Carx Jr. would finish 20th. And here's the rest, with David Rudikar finishing 21st. How? Kevin Carvick would finish 22nd. He won last week. At least he beat the mean yellow car, Kyle Busch Tire. Clint Bokar finished 24th, and Ricard Smith, in his first start this season, would finish 25th. Jamie McCarty would finish 26th, Phil Tankson 27th, Jack DePost 28th, surprisingly ahead of Brad Keselowski and Ryan Newcar. And how did Brick Yardley fall all the way down to 31st? T.G. Castlenet would finish 32nd, and Mike Yankee Jr. would be the last car to finish on the lead lap, finishing 33rd. And here is the top 20 in points, where Lightning McQueen is still almost 500 points ahead of second-placed Kevin Carvick. Cal Weathers and Bobby Swift now have over 2,000 points. And Denny Carlin, this race's winner, would be 5th in points, tied in points with Kurt Busch Tire 6th on 1,972 points. And Tony Gasworth would be just under 50 points behind them. Carl Edwards is 8th in points. Matt Karseth is 9th in points, despite the fact he has only led 1 lap this season. And that was last race, where everyone led a lap. Jimmy Cables now sits 10th in points, just ahead of Greg People, less than 10 points ahead. Kyle Busch Tire, the mean yellow car, is 12th in points. Clint Bokar is 13th in points with 1,681 points behind the mean yellow car. He's a nicer yellow car. Hopefully he finishes ahead in points. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would finish 14th this race. Actually, he didn't finish 14th this race. 14th in points is where Dale Earnhardt Jr. is. Mark Carton is 15th in points, just ahead of the Rocket, Ryan Newcar, who's somehow ahead of Jeff Gorvette. Casey Corner is 18th in points. He's gotten back into the top 20 because of his good finish this race. And he's ahead of Brick Yardley. And rounding out the top 20 is Jeff Burnton on 1,005 points.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.
Sorry that I made so many mistakes during the video, but with the new software that I'm using, it's very hard to stop a video track, which explains a lot of the mistakes that I made this video. And the new software that I'm using also explains why it took so long to make this video. And correction, Jeff Burnton has 1,505 points, 500 more than what I said earlier in the video. And the 16th race of 2010 will be coming out soon enough. And do you think that Lightning McQueen will win again, or if Matt Karzith will lead another lap? Comment down below what you think will happen in the next race. And that video will be coming out soon enough. The 16th race of 2010, the video that covers that race. It'll be coming out soon enough. But unfortunately, the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine is still going on. It's been many months since the war has started. And, unfortunately, Russian forces occupy around 1/5 of Ukraine's land. And also, the Ukrainian people have had enough of war. They just want to live in peace and have freedom. And who stands in the way of this common dream? The tyrant, Vladimir Putin, who somehow thinks that he needs to take land away from Ukraine. You already have enough of your own land. And there is no room for your tyranny, Vladimir Putin. Not in Ukraine, not in Russia, not anywhere. And we at the hashtag KABullets YouTube channel will continue to stand with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini! Heroyam Slava!